So, Namaskar, all of you. Odisha Civil Service 2023 ର optional test series ର ତ ଆଜି ତାର 9th test ଆମର ରହୁଛି ତ optional agriculture ପାଇଁ ଏଇ ସେସନ ରେ ମୁଁ ଯାହା ଆମର questions ଅଛି ଏଇ particular test ର ସେଇଟା discuss କରିବି so February 2 syllabus ଆମର ହେଲା climatic requirements and cultivation of major fruits, vegetable crops and flowers and ornamental plants, dryland and high-tech horticulture, handling and marketing problems of fruits and vegetables, methods of preservation of important fruits and vegetable products, processing techniques and equipment, role of fruits and vegetables in human nutrition, landscaping, design and layout of lawns and gardens. Okay, तो आगुरु हमर 8टा टेस्ट कंप्लीट हे गलानी जोथरे की एबे सब सेक्शनल टेस्ट गुडा चलची आ टेस्ट नंबर 11 रो जोडा फेब्रुआरी 9 रो स्टार्ट होची सेथरो आपन को फुल सिलेबस गुडा स्टार्ट हो सो लेट अस गो टू द क्वेश्चंस फॉर एग्रीकल्चर टेस्ट 9 एटा पेपर 2 रो पार्टटा तो एथरे जो माने जॉइन करिचंती ऑनलाइन तो आपण माने लेखिकी गोटे पीडीएफ फाइल करिकी 9437002210 एई नंबर रे व्हाट्सएप कर परिबे जो माने क्लासरूम रे जॉइन करचंती लेखिकी सेठी क्लास रे ही आपण सबमिट करिवे आउ तारो ड्यूरेशन ऑफ इवैल्यूएशन 4 डेज रहउची विद इन 4 डेज आपण को डिटेल तारो इवैल्यूएशन टा मिलुची हाउ डज द डायurnal टेंपरेचर वेरिएशन influence the anthocyanin accumulation in apples and what are the implications for apple cultivation in subtropical regions eta hela section 1 okay section A jothre ki 12 ta question dechi any 10 you have to answer how each question carries 15 marks okay so ethre gote jinsa hela apankara बहुत गुडे क्वेश्चंस बिट्स रे आसीबो ओके जेमति कि ए क्वेश्चन टा एथरे कोन ना आपनकर तीनटा दीटा बिट अछि माने गोटे 7 मार्क गोटे 8 मार्क कि 7.5 7.5 सेमति थिबो considering the sensitivity of mangoes to frost what adaptive strategies can be employed to cultivate mangoes in regions prone to unexpected cold spells question 2 in the context of climate change how might shifting monsoon patterns affect the flowering and fruiting cycles of lychee trees in India? What role does relative humidity play in incidence of fungal diseases in grape cultivation and how can vineyard management practices mitigate these risks? Question 3. How do varying photoperiods impact the flowering initiation in pineapple plants and what cultivation practices can optimize yield in non-native growing regions? Question 4. Given that cool season vegetables thrive in areas where the mean daily temperature does not rise above 21 degrees C, how might rising global temperatures impact the cultivation of crops like lettuce and spinach? Question 5. How does soil temperature influence seed germination rates in carrots and what soil management techniques can enhance germination in cooler climates? Question 6. Consider the high water content in cucumbers. How does fluctuation in soil moisture levels affect their cellular structure and overall quality? Question 7. What are the effects of extended daylight exposure on the bolting tendency in spinach? And how can planting schedules be adjusted to minimize this? Question 8. In regions with high diurnal temperature variations, how does this affect the sugar accumulation in sweet corn and what implications does this have for harvest timing? Question 9. How does vernalization influence the blooming cycle of biennial ornamental plants and what practices can stimulate this process in warmer climates? Question 10. Considering that most flowering plants prefer daytime temperature between 21 degrees C and 27 degrees C, how might global warming alter the blooming periods of temperate ornamentals? What impact does photoperiodism have on flowering of short day plants like uh, chrysanthemums, and how can artificial lighting be utilized to manipulate blooming times? Question 12. In urban environments with elevated temperatures, how does the heat island effect influence the growing and flowering of ornamental plants? Question 12. How does fluctuation in ambient humidity levels affect the transpiration rates in ferns, and what are the implications for their placement in interior landscaping? So এটা section A ର section B ଏଗୁଡ଼ା 300 words ଲେଖିବାର ଅଛି, 20 marks each. Question 13. How does the incorporation of native plant species in garden design contribute to biodiversity conservation and ecosystem services? 13B. What are the principles of uh, xeriscaping, and how can these be applied to create sustainable landscapes in arid regions? Question 14. In the context of micronutrient deficiencies, how can the consumption of biofortified fruits address public health concerns? 14B. What is the impact of cooking methods on the retention of water soluble vitamins in vegetables, and how can preparation techniques be optimized to preserve nutritional values? Question 15. In the preservation of citrus fruit, how does the choice of preservative agents influence the retention of ascorbic acid during storage? Question 16. What are the challenges associated with maintaining the cold chain for leafy greens, and how can technology improve shelf life during transportation? Question 17. How can remote sensing technologies be utilized to monitor plant health and soil conditions in large scale high-tech horticulture operations? Last question. How do fluctuations in ambient humidity levels affect the transpiration rates in ferns, and what are the implications for their placement in interior landscaping? So 6টা ভিতରୁ any 5 you have to attempt. So এটা ହେଲା ଆମର test 9 agriculture optional ର. ଆପଣ ମ୍ୟାଚ୍ କରିଦେଇପାରିବେ ତାର ଯେଉଁ ଆନ୍ସର୍ସ ଗୁଡ଼ା ମଡେଲ ଆନ୍ସର ସହିତ. ମଡେଲ ଆନ୍ସର୍ସ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଆପ୍ରେ ଯେଉଁ ମଡେଲ ଆନ୍ସର ଫୋଲ୍ଡର ଅଛି ସେଥିରେ ଆପଣ ପାଇପାରିବେ. ସୋ ଆଇ ୱିଶ୍ ୟୁ ଅଲ୍ ଦ ବେଷ୍ଟ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଏଗ୍ରିକଲଚର ଅପସନାଲ ପାଇଁ ପ୍ରିପେୟାର କରୁଛନ୍ତି. ନମସ୍କାର.